Vinyff and Arpad. You step inside the inn, and Gouloue is running around the tables, talking to her mother in a frantic pace, telling her how big the head of the beast was, how her teacher and his friends were able to kill it and put an end to the village's bad luck. Zerka, who is listening to Gouloue, nods out of her kindness of heart towards her daughter. And when you step inside, she comes halfway into the main hall and says, good sirs, perhaps it's better if you do not step any further. I see that you are dripping blood, and it would be very difficult for me to clean this up all by myself. If it's no trouble for you, I would have you move to the back around the inn.
Good woman. If we can not come to you, you come to us for a bit. We've got some bear meat here with us that we'd like you to prepare while we freshen ourselves up.
I can have it ready for you whenever you wish to have lunch.
I start moving towards the exit, I guess, to go around the back.
Follow.
There is a cabin on the back of the inn. I will have hot, clean water delivered there for you.
Thank you very much, I say as I step outside into the back.
You go all around the back. You step inside the cabin. It's just a wooden cabin, as plain as it can be. It has two wooden round bathtubs inside. You can see bars of soap and towels next to the bathtubs.
I take my cloak off with enormous care, fold it, make sure it doesn't touch the ground, and as I undress, I tell him, I hope you don't have a problem with the naked body of a witcher.
Witcher, sir, do you take me for a prude? I say as I start to disrobe myself.
Not a prude, but perhaps skirmish, because the body of a witcher is not always as comfortable to look at as other muscular man.
Witcher, I have seen men with their guts out of their bodies. I have seen the poor in the north. I'm sure whatever scars your body has, I'll be able to handle it.
You are quite the humorous dwarf. I like that.
I nod and I just disrobe further and want to get into the bath.
I would have our pad roll for awareness now. You got a 16. While you talk to each other, your eye strays a bit towards the cloak the Witcher has taken off and very cautiously placed on the rack next to the bathtubs. What surprises you, what's evident about it, is that this cloak is of dwarven make.
I am intrigued by this cloak now. And so I stop disrobing and I slowly make my way over to the cloak and just ask, where'd you get this?
I notice him coming to the cloak, and very obviously I become more alert, and I kind of hesitantly block your way to the cloak. And why do you ask?
I just point at the cloak behind his back and say, that there is a dwarven cloak.
Why, I see you're very knowledgeable about your kind's work. The tension of my posture kind of releases, and I get in the tub and I say, well, it's actually kind of an interesting story. Back when I was first beginning my journey on the path, I had to hunt a monster up north, actually. And I found this very large and complex ruin inside of a cave system. And along the way, I found a skeleton that was wearing this cloak. I didn't pay much attention to what he was, a human, a dwarf, or whatnot, but I was very drawn to this cloak, and I have to say I haven't taken it off since, and that was almost 100 years ago.
looking at the cloak, I said, so you found this cloak in excellent condition on a skeleton in a ruin in a cave.
I'll have to jump in here. It's not irrational because you know that these cloaks are A, rare, B, of excellent quality, and although you haven't used one, you do know that it's one of the best pieces of light armor one could have.
I guess that's a simple summarization of my story.
Keep looking at the cloak and give a quick glance at the Witcher. Can I hold it?
Don't get too hung up on the cloak. That stays with me to the day I die.
All right, I perfectly understand. Nodding profusely, I completely understand. I climb in the bathtub, still looking at the cloak.
All this discussion regarding the cloak and its origins took some time, and once Arpad climbs into the bathtub, Zerka arrives, holding 2 large buckets of boiling hot water. She steps inside, leaves one at the door, comes closer to the Witcher, and it's so obvious that she tries to not look at your naked body, so she tries to fill the bathtub without looking towards your direction, so naturally some of the water just drops out of it, and hastily she throws the bucket onto the ground and goes to fetch the second one, which is intended for Arpad's bathtub. In the exact same manner, without looking towards Arpad's body and the bathtub in general, she tries to fill it up, and she does, while spoiling some of the water, of course.
How would you describe her looks?
Right.
That Witcher libido popping up.
Zerka is a nice-looking woman. She and Matos are a bit older than Klopp and Aniet, his wife. When you look at her, you see a woman that has her best years behind her, but still you can see, okay, I can say this in Greek, but I don't know how to express it in English. I'd like to avoid contemporary terms such as thick or stupid stuff like that, but she's quite... Πώς θα πούμε πληθωρική, ρε μαλάκα?
Well, curvy.
Oh, okay.
The exact Greek word is sometimes also used rarely in English, like plethoric. But I think in this instance, it's curvy.
Well proportioned.
There you go.
There you go. Right. The teenager beat us to it.
If you don't...
Let me finish the description.
Yes. Sorry.
Zerka is a well-proportioned woman with blonde hair long to her waist. She also has the fairest of ankles, which you can see under her long dress. She has that look on her face that kind of emanates that she's not very content with the life she's leading, that she would probably like to have left the village already. Now, for the last part, I would have you roll human perception at a -2. I felt inclined to throw it in, but if you don't bid it, just forget I said it.
Okay, well, here's for the crit.
You can use as much luck as you have.
Yeah, but I'm gonna do it for my next roll, so don't you worry about that.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, good God.
It's a 10.
It's a 10.
I want to see if I can see what is going on with his Witcher. I want to see if I can notice his libido cropping up there.
Arpad got an 11 and Vinyff got a 10. You see Vinyff looking at her, but your mind is so focused on the cloak, you do not get his vibes.
All right.
Vinyff, everything you've heard is obvious, except the last part.
as she pours the water into Arpad's tub, I take some water into my hands and then I run my hands through my long, dirty blonde hair, and I say, "Don't worry, my dear lady. You can look. We don't bite. I promise you that."
I can get his vibe now, can't I? I abruptly stop looking at the cloak and my eyes just shift towards the Witcher.
Vinyff, this is the time where you roll for seduction.
Yes. Okay. And I will put 4 points of luck, which is all my luck, into this roll. This was a good roll. The roll was a 9, and then I have a 1 in empathy plus the 4. It's 14.
Are there any social modifiers there?
There's a certain concept here, and the concept is that we are not playing at the game's era. Technically, we are not in Nilfgaard. I mean, we are at the same area, but it's not the Empire yet. So the social view of the races and the world is not what is supposed to be in 1272. According to the book, Witchers in Nilfgaard are hated and feared.
Yeah, hated is for seduction, charisma, persuasion, and leadership.
Just to interject quickly, you did say with Klopp that the people of Ebbing do not discriminate.
Non-humans, yeah.
I know. I would say that jealousy is not a major hub of this world. I would give you a -1 to that.
So that is a 13.
She got a 6, and she has a resist coercion of 7.
Damn it.
I know you don't bite. I've seen people that bite. That doesn't mean I have to look at you, or that I wanted to.
Well, my lady, think of me like an eclipse. You don't have to look directly at it, but a few gazes here and there is quite welcome.
As she throws the second bucket to the ground and moves away towards the door, she stands for a bit, places her hand on the cabin's door so that she pushes it open, turns around over her shoulder, and this is the first time she looks at you in the eyes since your body is covered by the bathtub, and says, "We're village people. We don't know anything about art or astronomy."
This is great. As she leaves, and she closes the door behind her, I look at Arpad and I tell him, "Don't worry, I'll be back for her."
I just quietly start looking back at the cloak.
It's still not for sale, my friend. It's still not for sale.
I just say, well, just think of it as an art piece.
Gave you a taste of your own medicine.
Indeed.
You get yourselves thoroughly cleaned.
I want it to be clear, I pay a lot of time to my beard.
Makes perfect sense. And once you feel ready and clean, you step into the inn, into the main hall, from the main entrance, where you see Nicolas waiting. Nicolas?
As soon as I returned to the inn, I would have asked about Christos, and I know he's not perfectly healthy. Assume I knocked on his door at some point, just asked him if there was something I could do.
To which he replies that you have nothing to worry about and he will join you as soon as he is able to.
I wish him well, feel better as soon as possible, and I informed him that we will be waiting for him. I head downstairs and let's see what we can do about that letter.
Hence, when the two of you enter the inn, you see Nicolas and Gouloue seated on the table talking about letters and how certain words are written.
On a much better mood than the last time they saw me, I turn to them and I say, "Gentlemen, if you can excuse my, my dirty state, I'm asking for your forgiveness. I didn't have the time. But may I be so bold as to ask you to join me in this table?"
As I don't want to, scare a little girl, I keep my head down and I take a seat at the side of Nicolas, away from her.
Oh, I just gotta sit down.
Excuse my smell. And I turn to Ulwe and I say, now, with a piece of paper that I gave to you, please try and copy the letter as best as you can. Before bedtime, come and tell me what it says. Let me fix something, and I can't rewrite the whole thing, but maybe change a few words, like instead of regrettably, I will say I regret to inform you. Thinking it twice, I will try and just use some simpler words and phrases for her to be able to copy and understand.
I will go and do it right now, teacher. I don't know how long it will take me, but I won't return to you until I'm done. So she takes the letter and your writing kit and moves to another table, starts copying it. So you're left by yourselves.
My friends, as I say that, I take out the money pouch of my satchel, and I believe 3/4 of this would be yours. But I still haven't met your gnome friend. I don't even know his name. A quarter of this should belong to him.
Well, let's not get too hasty now.
I raise my hands in a calming manner. The gnome's name is Dr. Fristos, and you shouldn't worry. I plan on sharing my share of the bounty with him, since it was 3 of us searching and killing the bear.
And negotiating the deal.
That too. I think it's only fair. 1/3 will go to you, Vinyff.
I nod.
If Arpad asks an equal share, then I say he has more than earned it.
And if it's okay with you, Arpad as well, Mr. Dulac, sharing with Fristos.
I think this is a very, very good train of thought. Our good lord he has. I agree completely.
Well, this is not going to be about charity. I respect the doctor as much as anyone. Well, to be honest, more than most in this world. But this is going to be payment for his expertise and his help.
Sounds reasonable. And I dump the money onto the table for each person to take his share.
That said, the good doctor has taken it upon himself mainly to learn the true cause and heal, if he's able to, the ailment that has been plaguing the children of jealousy for some time now.
You make a confused face as you keep talking.
We haven't made any serious progress because of Christos' weak stomach, I think.
A plague? I don't know what you mean.
Remember when we were at Klopp's house and we saw his son?
Indeed. He has a small hatred towards you know who.
Indeed. Klopp's son is one of the many victims of jealousy who seem to have fallen victim to some sort of plague that the other villagers blame on the innkeep, more specifically on the innkeep's daughter, as she seems to be the only child not afflicted by this plague.
My memory is starting to come back. He did mention something about a so-called curse, which I believe I would have sensed coming into this establishment.
On the topic of the plague or the curse, noble lord, I have told the hunter Klopp and his family that we would send our good friend the gnome to them to check on their son. I've also already asked Gouloue to relay this request to our friend, so he should be informed of this. I think this is a good place to start, since we've got an inn say, into the village. The other villagers might still be very wary of us since we are guests in this inn here.
Then it is the second time my ignorance has taken the better of me. In the same day, I falsely proclaimed to Vinyff that we have made no progress, but it seems that you have made some, friend Arpad.
I lean back, cross my arms, satisfactory.
And please allow me to explain myself about my previous behavior. It was a jest, in bad taste perhaps. I never meant to disrespect or offend you in any way. Maybe a little bit in a friendly manner, but now that I think on it, maybe it's the third time my ignorance took the better of me this day.
Don't beat yourself up. I do have to ask before we continue on. What did you decide to do with the body?
I decided to heed the advice of someone more knowledgeable on the matter. We burned the body and we buried the ashes.
I nod and I give a little half smile and say, you did the right thing, my friend. Don't beat yourself up over it. Trust me that it's for the greater good.
I only hope that word reaches that lad's family. I don't know if Matos's fears about cursing the whole village are unfounded or not. But we have evidence that he tried to do the best that he could in order to help Jealousy and the other children. This is admirable. I would hope to help the children and clear the man's name. And since you're here, Vinyff, are you interested in helping us? Even if the reward is not up to your standards.
As unnatural as it is for a witch, sometimes the pure curiosity of the situation is more rewarding for me than mere coin. The fact that we don't know if this is a plague or something more complicated. I would like to dig deeper, and if you guys don't mind me joining your company.
I slam my hands on the door and I say, "This is cause for a celebration." I shout in keep into the room.
What is it, my lord? Does something bother you?
Get over here right now. Take this bear meat. And I prod Vin. Just give him the meat, man.
I take out 3 pieces of the bear meat and I tell him, with that, we would like the bottle of your finest alcohol as well.
Ah, you want something strong then?
As strong as it comes.
We used to get travelers here, and through them, I have some special reserve of Mahakam mead.
At the word Mahaka, my ears prick. I sit up and I say, "Good man, you will fetch us that bottle right now."
I will most certainly do. I will have Zerka prepare this meat for you as fast as he can. Perhaps the Lord Knight would also like to clean himself up until the lance is prepared?
Yes, that would be perfect.
All right then, it is settled. I will
My
have...
friends, as I dismiss Matos gently, a parting word. I feel bad for not correcting you when you addressed me as Lord. I'm not your Lord and I'm not anyone's Lord. I am a knight. I don't have in my possession any kind of land, any vassals, or any bannermen, or any other titles. If I let you call me as such, I would be less than honorable and true. Please call me Nicolas. I would be happy if you did.
Nicolas, my friend, save the speeches for the toast we will have later. Go, clean yourself up, relax. You deserve it.
But don't take too long, because I'm hungry.
That is also true.
Please start without me.
Nonsense.
And with that, I think we can wrap this up.